Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
ABC News International. August 16, 1732 America, New York. Huawei CFO's legal team resumes defense in Canadian court. Lawyers for a senior executive for Chinese communications giant Huawei Technologies have argued at an extradition hearing in Canada that there is no evidence she made any misrepresentations that resulted in a bank suffering a loss.
BBC News World. August 16, 1723 America, New York. Biden defends U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. How many more American lives is it worth? Says the president at the White House. Mirror World News. August 16, 1711 America, New York. Bridal billboards torn up as Afghan women fearing for their lives go into hiding. A female journalist in Kabul says her sisters and friends in Kabul are being confronted by conservative men who shout, "The Taliban are coming because of you. The Taliban are here to discipline you."
RT World News. August 16, 1656 America, New York. As German military plane fails to land in Kabul, Merkel calls US-led Afghanistan mission not as successful as hoped. Overcrowding on the runway at Kabul airport has forced a German military plane to divert and refuel without evacuating anyone on the ground. Meanwhile, Chancellor Angela Merkel bemoaned the lack of success in Afghanistan.
ABC News International. August 16, 1656 America, New York. Haiti's Civil Protection Agency raises death toll from earthquake to 1,419. Number of injured increases to 6,000. Haiti's Civil Protection Agency raises death toll from earthquake to 1,419. Number of injured increases to 6,000.
RT World News. August 16, 1651 America, New York. Watch. Taliban fighters fire warning shots outside Kabul airport as crowds of Afghans try to enter facility. Large numbers of Afghan people have gathered outside Kabul airport, seeking to flee the country as the Taliban takes control. The group's fighters have reached the airport's gates and were seen firing guns to contain the crowd. New York Times World News. August 16, 1649 America, New York. Your Tuesday briefing. Scrambling to evacuate Afghanistan. Thousands of people mobbed the Kabul airport on Monday, trying to flee Afghanistan after the Taliban gained control of the country. New York Times World News. August 16, 1643 America, New York. The Taliban's takeover in Afghanistan. What to know? Just as the United States was set to withdraw its military from Afghanistan after nearly 20 years of war, the Taliban took over Kabul, the country's capital, an American B-52 bomber circling above Afghanistan's Tora Bora Mountains in 2001.
ABC News International. August 16, 1619 America, New York. Belarusian activist sentenced to 8.5 years in prison. A Belarusian activist who stabbed himself in the neck 2 months ago to protest political repression has been sentenced to 8.5 years in prison. Fox World News. August 16, 1615 America, New York. Taliban take over Afghanistan. What we know and what's next. The Taliban have seized power in Afghanistan 2 weeks before the U.S. was set to complete its troop withdrawal after a costly 2-decade war.
World CBS News, com. August 16, 1614 America, New York. Malala Yousafzai urges countries to open borders to Afghan refugees. Yousafzai was shot in the head by the Taliban as a teenager because she advocated for educating girls.
Mirror World News. August 16, 1521 America, New York. SAS launch daring mission to rescue stranded Brits from clutches of the Taliban. Exclusive. Undercover special forces teams on the ground in Afghanistan are in a race against time as fears grow the Taliban will take control of Kabul airport as people try desperately to flee to country.
New York Times World News. August 16, 1514 America, New York. Afghanistan video. Key scenes from the Taliban's swift victory. The fall of Afghanistan's government was captured in hundreds of videos from across the country. We analyzed some of the key moments. RT World News. August 16, 1506 America, New York. Massive wildfire rages outside Jerusalem as Israeli Gov seeks international help to tackle blaze. Videos. The government of Israel has called for international help as the country faces a major wildfire outside Jerusalem. The out-of-control blaze has already devastated swaths of woods and farmland, threatening several villages.
Mirror World News, August 16, 1504 America, New York. Magnificent Mopane the lion shot by trophy hunter after being lured away from his pride. Exclusive. Mopane the lion is believed to have been killed with a bow and arrow in Gwai, western Zimbabwe, after seemingly being lured away from his pride in the Hawaii National Park.
ABC News International. August 16, 1502 America, New York. All 8 dead in tourist helicopter crash found in Kamchatka. Russian officials say the bodies of all 8 victims of a tourism helicopter crash in Russia's Far East region of Kamchatka have been found. Fox World News. August 16, 1501 America, New York. Air raid sirens sound in Israel after rocket fired from Gaza. Air raid sirens sounded in southern Israel on Monday after a rocket was fired from the Gaza Strip, the first since the 11-day war between Israel and Palestinian militants in May.
BBC News World. August 16, 1452 America, New York. Bezos sues NASA over its deal with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Mr. Bezos's Blue Origin says it was unfairly treated after being excluded from lunar landing contract. Mirror World News. August 16, 1431 America, New York. Brave Brit dubbed Angel of the Ashes for fighting fires while on holiday in Greece. Exclusive. Apollo Geralimbos has been an unpaid volunteer over the past 2 weeks and helped to evacuate homes and fight 30-foot flames house by house and tree by tree.
New York Times World News. August 16, 1420 America, New York. Gallery lures soccer fans to Tottenham Stadium for art. A new gallery at the Stadium of Tottenham Hotspur, a top London club, is presenting contemporary works to visitors, with mixed results. An AMP. LDQUO. Endless Column 3, an AMP. RDQUO. A 2017 work by Hank Willis Thomas, on display in the exhibition space, which is called OOF.
Fox World News. August 16, 1404 America, New York. Afghan woman finds herself in limbo amid Kabul airport chaos. With hundreds of Afghans rushing the tarmac of Kabul's international airport desperate to flee the return of the Taliban, a young Afghan woman stood in limbo between 2 worlds.